SEO for your flower shop. What is it and how does it work? Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Frank Blanchard, AIFD, and today I'm starting a new short series of videos all on the topic of good SEO practices specifically for your flower related business. So this is going to go for anybody that has a brick and mortar retail flower shop, a flower shop that does the vast majority of your business online, and also for studio floral designers. Any flower related business that is looking to online avenues of getting people to come to you and get your services and products, whatever it is that you happen to have to sell. But before we dive into that, if you are enjoying this content and you're getting a lot out of it, if you would subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And definitely give it a thumbs up if you like the video, because that definitely helps the whole YouTube algorithm and it helps my channel to grow. So now we're going to get into this topic of SEO for your retail flower business and how it works, what it is, what it does, all of that kind of thing. So first, in a nutshell, let's get down to the real nitty-gritty of SEO so that you have a good understanding of what you're wanting SEO to do. So, I would assume you have a website for your flower business, and you very likely also have a presence on Facebook, Instagram, maybe you're on Twitter, maybe you're on Pinterest. But for the most part, you're probably on Facebook and Instagram. You might be a few other places as well. SEO stands for search engine optimization. And through search engine optimization, what you are trying to do for your website is to make it as easy as possible for people that are searching for the kinds of services or products that you have for sale to find you. You're giving the search engines, and we're literally talking search engines here. We aren't talking people. We're trying to give search engines as much information as possible so that when the actual people that we want as our customers, when they type into Google or on YouTube or whatever other search engine they're currently using, and they're searching for different kinds of services or products that you might have available to sell, all of that SEO work that you're doing is giving the search engines information so that the search engine can then answer their search query or their answer, give them their answer for whatever it is they happen to be searching for. Through this search engine optimization, what you're using to do that is a lot of keywords and keyword phrases. I'm sure you've probably heard that terminology before. And using that keyword information and text to answer those potential customers' search query. So ultimately, those keywords are a big part of your overall SEO strategy for your website, which is getting traffic to your website and ultimately directly to you by way of giving your customers and clientele an actual call to action. Because as humans, we generally don't do anything unless we're specifically asked to do it. So, through your search engine optimization, you are working to give people that all important call to action, whether you're wanting them to call you on the phone, whether you're wanting them to send you an email, or maybe you're wanting them to sign up for your monthly or weekly e-newsletter. Possibly you have a new product to sell and you want to promote that to them, and you want them to go to your website for your e-commerce website and potentially actually purchase that item. All of your search engine optimization work and your work with keywords and keyword phrases, you're using all of that to help drive people to wherever you're wanting them to go, to do whatever you're wanting them to actually do, which hopefully is to hire you for a service or to actually buy your products. So it's vitally important that search engine optimization is actively working on your website. This is something that needs to be consistently worked on. I'm not saying it has to be done every single day, but one problem that I see for a lot of flower shops is a little bit of search engine optimization is done. Maybe a little bit of keyword research is done, and then you think you're finished, so you stop. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. You've got to keep going with it. Ultimately, because a lot of what you're doing to some extent is kind of a guessing game, and you need to give the work that you're doing for SEO and keyword research and creating text on your website with keywords, is you have to put it on there, and then you have to kind of wait and see if it actually generates anything for you. And if it doesn't, you might need to tweak it a little in order to get the optimum results out of it. Now, from what I've just said, when it comes to keywords and keyword research and working on your overall SEO for your website, that is all done through text content. You might have heard the terminology internet marketing or digital marketing or digital content creation. Those are all terms that revolve around and deal with the topic of search engine optimization and working keywords onto websites and marketing through those websites to get people to know, like, and trust you. And then also to give them a call to action to get them to, as I mentioned, sign up for a newsletter, send you an email, give you a phone call to ask you a more specific question, or to go to your e-commerce website and actually buy something. So all of those terminologies pertain to that. And all of that work is done through text content. Now, one of the things that I do with my work within the floral industry is helping other businesses get the most from their overall web presence to get the most success with their business. One of the ways that I can do that is to actually audit people's websites and also look at their overall web presence to see how well their SEO and their keyword work is actually working for them or not. So periodically I'll get potential clients contacting me, and I usually start by offering to give them a web audit just to see what's happening with their business, because sometimes what they want to have happen and what they think is happening is actually not what's happening. So I have to figure out specifically what is happening so that I can really answer their questions and help them learn what is going to get them the maximum results for whatever it is they're trying to work on. So when people contact me and want me to do a web audit for them, and I look at their website, one of the biggest things that causes people issues for their flower related business when it comes to SEO and keywords is there literally isn't enough text content on their website to really be able to help the search engines out to be able to answer people's search query when they are searching for your services or products, whatever that happens to be. So we oftentimes get stuck on pictures and images because as floral artists and floral designers and flower shop owners, flower business owners, we are a very creative bunch, and we also are very visual oriented. Anything visual gets our attention. Text content, not so much. However, yes, those images are great and they're really good at getting people's attention at first, but you've kind of got like 1 to 2 seconds literally to get their attention. So it's got to be a good picture. But when it gets right down to the nitty gritty of SEO for your flower shop website, it all comes down to text content. And when I do audits on people's websites, and I frequently also audit people's websites that haven't even contacted me or asked me to do a web audit, I'm always just doing a lot of research and looking at what is happening at different people's websites. And it also helps me see what kinds of websites work the most. But overall, usually what I see and what I find out is there is just too little text content on their website. And how that can really be a detriment to your website and then your business is it doesn't provide enough answers to people's search query to actually gain web traffic. So I've actually done web audits on some websites that have so little text content on their website, I can't even do a good web audit because their website doesn't even register where I'm doing the audit to even get any information. So all I get are zeros and I don't get any information, so I can't help people. Usually it's always a matter of just creating more text content. So, some tips for you if you have an e-commerce website for a flower shop. Places that you want to make sure that you've got a really good quantity of text content that answers people's search query, and that also includes keywords and keyword phrases to answer people's questions, are in the About section of your website, giving people information specifically about you as well as your business. You also want to make sure you've got a good amount of content in the descriptions of the items that you have on your e-commerce website. And specifically on that topic, you want to make sure that you're listing within the text that you create for your description of the item, if certain kinds of flowers or plants that are in a design, you actually want to put those down in text form within your description of that item. Make sure you're listing those items within that content. You're also wanting to talk about the colors that are in that design. That kind of information is all the kinds of stuff that you want to make sure you are including in that text content. Now, it's really important to talk about the amount of text content in your descriptions. Where you can fall short is not providing enough. I see a lot of flower shop websites that for the product description, it literally has one line or one sentence. That doesn't cut it. That is nowhere near enough information. You really need to focus on trying to create anywhere from 2 to potentially 3 short paragraphs of information. Even then, you can still have a really low word count on your website, which makes it hard for the search engines to provide people with answers to get people to come to your website. So the more information you can put down within the descriptions of all the items on your website is very helpful. So, backtracking, in the About section of your website, and also all of the descriptions for all of the items that you have on your e-commerce website. If you have a blog on as part of your website, that's another really important and key places that you can add a lot of good text content that will really help you out. I cannot say that enough. It can really help you out. And a good blog post, you don't have to do them that often, but they do need to be fairly long. Anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 words for a blog post is really good. And you should get some good results from that. And it should overall help your website out for that. And anywhere else on your website, you have to look at it as to where can you add text content that will help you out. So in addition to the descriptions of all the items for sale on your e-commerce website, a blog as part of that e-commerce website in the About section of that website, and also if you have or do special events like weddings, etc., that's another key area where you can add a lot of good keyword and keyword phrases within your text content that greatly improves your SEO. So, if you haven't looked at your website in a while, I would encourage you to do that. We all need to look at our websites on a fairly regular basis and just make sure that it's all happening the way it needs to be happening. And anywhere that you see that you could potentially add more text content, that gives you some homework to do as to where you want to be putting some work and effort to improve your overall flower business. Now, when it comes to SEO and the information on your website, a little additional information that also helps a lot is all of the specifics about your business when it comes to your business name, your address, where you're located, your phone number, your email address, and any other specific information like that about your business. Everywhere you have a listing on the internet, and I'm talking about if hopefully you're with Google. You should be with Google because that's the #1 biggest search engine in the world. So you've definitely got to have Google. But Bing, Yahoo, literally anywhere else you have your business listed on the internet, you need to make sure that that specific information about your business is exactly the same. There cannot be any differences in that information. If there is, what can happen is the search engines very likely won't share your information as much because it sends up a red flag and it puts up a question mark to the search engines, and they start to think that maybe these businesses are different, separate businesses. So that's really important to make sure that if you want as much traffic as you can possibly get, that specific kind of information about your website and your business, you've got to make sure is exactly the same everywhere you have it listed. So that's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, anywhere that you have a listing for your business on the internet. So that's really important, especially if you have different people helping you with that kind of information. You've got to make sure that everybody's doing it exactly the same, because that's really important. So for that little bit of information, that's what I wanted to start talking to you about today when it comes to giving you a better explanation as to what SEO is, and if you have a flower shop or a flower related business, specifically how it's going to help you get more business. In future videos, in some of the next ones that I will add to this playlist, I'll also talk about ways that you can search out and look at the overall SEO of the other flower shops in your area that you might consider competition. And you can actually see what they're doing, what they're getting traffic from on their website, or you might even find out that you don't even need to worry about it because they aren't doing any business. There are ways you can find that out. It's very interesting information, so stay tuned for that. So for today, I've given you some homework to check out, And I hope you'll do that. If you have any questions specifically regarding SEO or keywords or creating text content for your website, by all means, ask in the comments below, and I will definitely do my best to answer your questions for you. So until next time, have a great day, everybody. Stay safe and stay well, and get to work so that you can start getting that web business into your flower shop. Until next time, we'll see you really soon. Bye for now, everybody.